one of the hottest topics in this space right now is 5G.
Yes.
And this is something that you guys do a lot about. Obviously, your connections with NTT and your work with Rakuten. It is also happens to be one of the pillars of your growth strategy midterm. Can you tell us something about this business and about its prospects, and particularly how you aim to achieve a fairly ambitious market share goals in the near future?
I wanted to ride on the new wave of the new market. That means open RAN and the open market of the 5G. NEC is sitting in a very unique and situations, and the Japanese two operators, and as you said, and NTT and large guys, and the new innovators and the Rakuten. Those two players are very much pushing the open RAN, and from the greenfield approach, and also the like a top-down approach, and we are working together with them, and to create a new solution to the world. And NEC is very unique and positioned to be able to provide like end-to-end solutions. NEC will be growing, and at the pace of the market growth.
You have a pretty ambitious goal of 20% market share in the O-RAN space. What are the biggest challenges just for achieving that, as well as what are the chances you might beat the goal?
Yeah, I think that the biggest challenge is like how we can persuade like people to accept, right, and like commercially and workable systems and of open RAN systems. And so in this sense, and we have to be competing with the non-open RAN competitors, and such as the current incumbent players, Ericsson's and Nokia's and Huawei's. And so that is the biggest challenge.
Speaking of acceptance of new technologies, you've been in this business for a long time. You've seen the transition from 2G to 3G, then from LTE and now 5G. Each one took a slightly different time, and often the supply and demand interplay was complicated. How do you see the adoption of 5G progressing so far?
I'm very much optimistic about the pace of the acceptance. And as you see, and we saw that the Vodafone recently announced they are adopting that open RAN systems as a part of their commercial deployment, and also the Deutsche Telekom is also announcing that O-RAN Town. And then now we see like Telefonica, one of the biggest operators, and in multiple countries, they decided to deploy like a pre-commercial based sites and 24 countries. So I think everybody is getting very serious about it, and everybody is believing that this is very feasible.
Japan has a new prime minister. I'd like to hear your expectations for new policies and reforms in general, as well as more specifically things that are relevant to your IT and 5G businesses.
The most important things of politics is the stability, I believe, for the business like us. Kishida-san, and he announced a new fund of 10 trillion yen and to support science and technology, as well as the pledge for the carbon neutral. So I think the things moves well, and I'm looking forward to and seeing new like stimulations